In the 6th century BC, 500 years before Jesus was born, a Jewish exile sitting in Babylon wrote down a date. Not a vague prediction, not a symbol open to interpretation, a mathematical calculation with a specific endpoint. And when you run the numbers, they land within days of the most important week in human history. His name was Daniel, taken from Jerusalem as a teenager, serving in the court of Nebuchadnezzar, the king who destroyed the temple. And in the first year of the Medo-Persian Empire, around 539 BC, Daniel receives a vision. An angel named Gabriel comes to him, not with comfort, with a countdown. 70 weeks are decreed for your people and your holy city. Daniel 9, verse 24. And what follows is the single most mathematically specific prophecy in the entire Bible. First, understand what weeks means here. The Hebrew word is shavuim. It doesn't mean weeks of days. It means weeks of years, 7-year periods. So 70 weeks of years is 70 multiplied by 7, 490 years total. There are 4 decrees in the historical record. Most scholars, including secular ones, identify the decree of Artaxerxes I, recorded in Nehemiah 2, as the correct starting point. The date? The month of Nisan, 444 BC. Now, here is where it gets uncomfortable for anyone trying to dismiss this as coincidence. The Hebrew prophetic calendar uses 360-day years, not 365. 483 years multiplied by 360 days gives you 173,880 days. Count forward 173,880 days from March 444 BC. You arrive at April 6th, 32 AD. The day Jesus rode into Jerusalem on a donkey. What Christians call Palm Sunday. What the crowd called the arrival of the King of Israel. To the day. Now, liberal scholarship has one countermove here. They date Daniel to the 2nd century BC, after the events of Antiochus Epiphanes, arguing it was written after the fact. 2 problems with that. First, the Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in 1947. Among them, fragments of Daniel dated by paleographers to before 125 BC. Meaning the manuscript predates Antiochus, or is contemporaneous at the absolute latest, not written after him. Second, the 70 weeks calculation has nothing to do with Antiochus. Even if you grant the late date entirely, the prophecy still predicts Palm Sunday from the 2nd century BC. You've only shortened the miracle. You haven't eliminated it. What the prophecy says next. And here is the part that stops people completely. After the 69 weeks, after the Messiah arrives, Daniel says this: the Anointed One will be cut off and will have nothing. Cut off. The Hebrew, karath, used throughout the Old Testament for a specific kind of death. Violent, sudden, covenantal. Written 500 years before crucifixion was even invented as a method of execution by the Romans. Daniel doesn't just predict when the Messiah arrives, he predicts that he will be killed immediately after. And then, one more detail. The people of the ruler who will come will destroy the city and the sanctuary. In 70 AD, 38 years after the crucifixion, the Roman general Titus destroyed Jerusalem and burned the temple to the ground. Daniel saw it all. In 539 BC, from Babylon. Here is what you are left with. Either Daniel guessed, to the exact day, the arrival of a specific figure in Jerusalem 5 centuries before it happened, and then correctly predicted that figure would be violently killed, and then predicted the destruction of Jerusalem within a generation, all by accident. Or the book means exactly what it says. Jesus knew this prophecy. That's why when he rode into Jerusalem, he wept over the city. If you, even you, had known on this day what would bring you peace. Daniel was not a lucky guesser. He was a man who served a God who exists outside of time, who sees the end from the beginning, the way you see a completed painting, rather than brushstroke by brushstroke. And that changes everything about how you read your Bible. Because if God knew the exact day his son would ride into Jerusalem, then he knew the exact day you would be born. He knew every season you'd walk through, every moment you'd question whether any of this was real, every night you spent wondering if he was actually there. The same precision that put Jesus in Jerusalem on April 6th, 32 AD, is the same precision that has been applied to your life. Not approximately, not generally, exactly. If you've never read Daniel chapter 9 yourself, read it tonight. Not because someone told you to believe it, but because the numbers are right there, open, verifiable, waiting. The prophecy wasn't written for scholars. It wasn't locked away in a seminary. It was written for anyone who was willing to look. The only question Daniel 9 leaves you with isn't intellectual. It's personal. If God planned history to the day, what does he know about yours?